So, in a fantasy world where you can manipulate fire and manipulate wind and manipulate lightning, making glass would be relatively easy for a magician. So let's say you have like 100 pieces of glass manufactured per magician, right? But would that create more windows to the extent that the lower classes can have them, or would it just primarily be a thing for the nobility? Because depending on how big your population of wizards is, right, and with all the training and whatever, like a wizard could either uplift the society by doing all kinds of things to help the society grow, or a wizard could just make a bunch of money making various significant things, but because the wizard himself wants to live well, he just sells luxury goods, and he can only maintain an output of luxury goods. So it's slightly more windows for the nobility, and like the armor, the finest armor of the kings and queens is protected by magic, but realistically speaking, like, what sort of an impact would a wizard society realistically have on a medieval fantasy world? Because if you have giant monsters, because it's a medieval fantasy world, those giant monsters deny you a certain area of land which you cannot cultivate and take out more people of the population. But then the wizards slightly improve your military power, which makes up for that. And then there's all kinds of little things. Like, once you have a certain number of wizards in one place, their usefulness to society exponentially increases because they can just unify their power and chop stone into coherent blocks, right? And mass manufacture material for walls and just transport in a line those various pieces of stone and put them on, like, stack them as a wall, and that's your rapid building of a castle. They could just go to a place, rapidly shapeshift the earth into an earthwork, giving you a foothold, and repeat and repeat and repeat. And if the enemies approach them, they could just incinerate them with fire and suppress fires against their people. So, in a medieval fantasy world, control over the wizards would be the main thing that secures your power. So naturally, you'd want to fuck a wizard to get a wizard daughter or wizard son, and you'd be ruled by a society of magical warriors and wise men. In which case, a tournament system could develop to decide over claims to unused territory that is being controlled by monsters. Or you could just have a competition to hunt a monster, and whoever brings the lords that are in dispute over an area, the head of the monster, that person gets a significant chunk of the territory or gets to be the governor of the territory. Right? And all participants get a little bit of something for participating, but the winners are the ones that really get everything.